All right. Yes, here we go. We're live. All right. On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to speak, so we took turns in staring out the window at the darkness. Boredom overtook him, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I made a life." Okay, so why am I singing the gambler? Well, tonight we're going to talk about raise, stand, raise, or fold. No, this is not an episode about poker, although I am going to use it as an analogy. Hi, my name is Richard Struther. I'm a technology coach, and this is not technically perfect. And I am outside of Atwater Market, although I'm kind of on the unpopular side. I just needed a spot to get away from the rain, but that's okay. So I am. You notice I actually got my finery and everything today. Just having some fun with that. Yes. So what we're actually going to talk about today, talk about when to upgrade your technology or when not to upgrade your technology, kind of these questions that come up. So this is something that comes up a lot of the time. Hey, should I get the new phone? I saw bringing something out. Should I jump? You know, do I take? Okay. Before, sorry, apparently one of my streams was having connection issues, and we are good. So, just to kind of make that point. All right. So hey, so here we go, and regain composure. Yeah, I had a great question yesterday because I was talking about bandwidth, and bandwidth. Yes, I used the highway analogy. How many cars? And then I got this great question: can you increase your bandwidth? The answer is yes. Ultimately, you can always increase your bandwidth. However, the trick to increasing your bandwidth depends on what's limiting it, right? So here's the catch. When we talk about internet especially, we talk about internet service provider. They've got the fastest connection. You can't go faster than them. So that pairs down from internet connection or internet service provider to your modem, which is the box that they give you that decodes the signal so that you can get internet in your house. That usually, sometimes but not always, goes to another box, the router, which divides the traffic up local at the house, and it goes to all the different spots. So if the problem is in your house, then yes, upgrading your router will actually increase your bandwidth a lot. And Wi-Fi tends to have slower transmission speed or slower bandwidth, or lower bandwidth than having a straight cable connection. So if you connect your computer straight to the modem that your internet service provider gave you, you're going to get much faster speeds. It's actually really impressive. But that's just one. So can you? Yes. Sometimes it's not in your end. It really is your internet service provider, and you actually just need to pay for a better package. It's so if you guys have questions about kind of where your speed is at and whatnot, I'm really approachable. I swear I am. Hit me up in the comments. I'll put up my email after. For those of you who know me personally, which is pretty much all of you, you can always just ask me, and I'm happy to help. If you don't know me personally and you're watching this after the fact, then by all means, always happy to talk about that and help. All right. So again, why was I singing the gambler? The trick about technology, and especially where I'm concerned, is about the value it has to you, as in what does it do, right? How does it work for you? Does it do what you need it to? Now, if it does what you need it to, the answer is stay with what you got. If it's doing what you want, that's great. If you look at a new piece or something that came out later or whatever, and all of a sudden it's, hey, look, it does these like 16 other things. That's great. What do these 16 other things do for you? So that's a great question to be asking. You don't just want to be spending money for spending money. And new technology is great, but not if it's not giving you something of value. So that's really important to know. Is your cell phone working for you? Awesome. Do you need to upgrade? Probably not. I'll use a case in my end. The iPhone 12 Max, 12 Pro Max. Is it worth it for me? Yes. Why? I had a phone I really liked, the 10R, and it was great. But this one offered a slightly larger screen, which actually is of benefit to me because I use it quite well. But the camera system is really spectacular, and it does telephoto. And considering that I do a lot of video, and sometimes I just want to I want to see like I'm closer, like telescopic, that was worth it for me. I looked at the difference in price. I looked at what I was able to get for pricing, and for that, it was a win. I was a yes. The battery life has not been impressed to me. I love the battery life on it. So yes, is that worth it to me? Absolutely. Was it worth the jump? Sure was. My iPad, is it worth it for me to upgrade? No. No, it isn't. It's a fantastic unit. It does everything I want it to and more. I love my iPad Pro. It's great. And so I'll stand on that until something in the newer iPads goes, oh my goodness, that's something that will add to my experience, right? Am I making sense? Hit me up in the comments if you think I'm making sense. So it's the reason I put the analogy to poker is because when you get a poker hand, you have the option to discard cards and pick up new ones, but you don't know. So what you have to do is look at what you got, right? If you've got a poker hand and you got like 3 kings, whatever you get is a win. If you've got something that's good, you can only get better. If you get another pair, well, that's fantastic. If you get another king, oh man, you're set. But as your technology gets older, as you run through cards in the deck, as you keep seeing, these things unfold, and you start seeing what isn't happening, right? As your technology gets older, you start to notice, hey, the chances of this being a really winning hand are less. You got the 3 kings, they're not coming back. So if you get a king, you're kind of looking at this going, well, it's good. A king is nice, but there are less possibilities. I suppose you could use Yahtzee as an example too. But nonetheless, this is kind of what I'm getting at. Is you really have to kind of get a gauge of what your technology is for you, how valuable it is to you, and if it's doing what you want, that's a huge pro. That's already a win. So you've already got a winning hand. Are you going to trade away your winning hand for, the new one will do what this one does, but, is that really worth the difference in price or the setup or the time, especially if you're in the middle of deadlines? You don't want to be changing everything around in the middle of deadlines, right? So that's my spiel. Guys, love seeing you. Thanks for tuning in. Live at 6:45. I'll be on again tomorrow. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna put up my email address. If you guys have any questions or any of that, please shoot me questions. I love questions. I have fun with them. And thank you, by the way, for the question that you asked. I love the can you get more bandwidth? Yes, the answer is always yes. It's just a matter of how we do it. And thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you find that this would be useful for somebody, please, please, please do share it. That's a lot for me. Like that's really, really helpful. So see you guys tomorrow.